The following is a Shaw TV sports presentation.
It is the biggest game in Junior A SWAT history right here in Saskatoon this afternoon. My name is John Fraser, play-by-play announcer, joined by Casey Guerin, color commentator. And Casey, I don't like using hyperbole a lot, but I think it's very appropriate to call this the biggest game in Junior A SWAT history.
Well, it is. This is the first year that the SWAT are competing really at a realistic level with the Mounties and the Raiders. Two of these teams, John, are going to go to the Minto Cup this year. And what's on the line today is an excellent shot at first place. If the SWAT win today, they're going to be hard-pressed not to get first place in the league, which is going to be a huge advantage going into the playoffs.
Well, naturally, you get first place, you go right to the final, and that means you go directly to the Minto Cup. What's been the change with this SWAT program from last year, Casey?
Well, to be honest, I sit here and I watch the games, and the biggest difference for me is goaltending. This year, Lane Hruska, he's 16 years old. He comes up and he's stealing the show for this team. And that's the biggest difference, but you can also look on the offensive side. You've got a lot of guys who have been with the team a few years now who are really coming into their own and maturing and stepping up and really playing at the potential they're capable of.
So here we go. It's first period action between the SWAT and the Mounties. It's next, live on Shaw TV. Here we go, it's opening face-off in this massive game here for both these clubs. If the SWAT win, they are virtually assured of first place in the regular season, pending a major upset next weekend.
Well, they'd also need the Raiders to lose one of their remaining two to the Mounties.
So they need a Mounties victory, a win today and a Mounties victory, but I mean, you want to be in the position where you got to get yourself to that position. That's what the SWAT are going to try to do. Cody Arsenault is going to face off with Wyatt Hawks, get this whole thing started. Picking it up off the loose ball is Jaden Fraser. Fraser retreats back towards his own bench. He's going to wait to the offensive mates to get on. Early pressure here from the Mounties. And here come the SWAT on their first offensive position. It's going to be Quinn Ingalls. Ingalls goes back down low to the near side. Liam Double trying to drive in, finds a man in the middle, and he's shooting, and just missing there was Colin Bergloff. And here come the Mounties in transition. Ethan Olsen, first touch there. A little bounce pass there to Jake Foster. Foster, a little bit of SWAT pressure, and he'll make it past half. Early on here, good chance there in the opening moments for the SWAT, Casey.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Bergloff hit a lane right to the net there. Would have liked to see him walk that right in on top.
Now it's the Mounties with their first try on offense here. Over to the far side is Gillis. Gillis goes back behind the net. Shot clock winding down, 3-2 down to the 1. He's going to dump it into the corner, so far so good if you're a SWAT fan. First touch now is going to be by Zach Gould. Alternate captain there for the SWAT is Gould. Moving it down low. SWAT moving the ball around. There's a shot. Dybel, he had it open over on that far side by the goaltender Brady Wilson's right arm, but just missed.
Well, you asked me what was going to be important for the SWAT today. Another thing that happened last night a lot, John, is the shots were off target. They're not making the goalie work for it. There's a lot of shots that missed the net last night.
Now here come the Mounties on the counterattack. Back down low near side. There's a low shot, and that one expertly blocked. And here come the SWAT in transition. First one there is going to be Brandon Griffith. Griffith, he retreats, spins back into the corner, finds his offensive mates. Up top, big shot there. That one turned aside. Mitch Linklater, and it's into the goaltender, Brady Wilson. He's going to outlet pass there. Ryan McLean. McLean for a bounce pass there. And the Mounties get to work on offense. Back down low, Ethan Olsen. He's going to start things up top. Olsen back over the far side. Moving things around. Still scoreless here early on in the first period. Back around far side. There's a high shot, and for the first time, Lane Hruska is really tested. That one going for the airmail pass, though, and nearly. Casey, I see you stamping your foot as that was another glorious chance here for the SWAT, but they are going to get a possession on offense here, I believe. Oh, no, never mind. I saw the hand go up there from one of the officials, Tanner Fetch. Must just been counting things off of the possession here. So the Mounties now back-to-back possessions after the long pass. I like that long stretch pass, Casey, unless it doesn't work, of course.
Well, you got to assess the risk there. If it's open, take it, but you don't want to force anything. Get your offense on the floor. You're on game 2 here of the weekend. It's hot in here. So you don't want to be turning the ball over and make your defense work more than they have to.
So here comes the SWAT offense, slowing things down again into the middle. There was a quick chance there by Liam Dybel. And Dybel's had a couple chances in close, but some great defensive work there by the Mounties. And how about that work by Dybel in the corner, forcing that loose ball. good little bit of work there, but the goaltender Brady Wilson's going to scoop it up. Wilson now, he's going to go back to the short side for Isaac Bott. Bott's going to go for a run. Bott now all the way down the floor in transition. He's forced back outside there. Linklater's the one doing the job on defense. Jake Gillis. Gillis now, a left-handed shot. Long shot there, and that's the first one to go up of Lane Harushka. Harushka up to the test is the 16-year-old goaltender, but it's a loose ball recovery by the Mounties. A bounce shot there is going to go up and into the netting. Off of nobody, so the SWAT take back over here. 16:38 left to go in the opening period here on the Al Anderson sponsored weekend.
Yeah, and I think if you're the SWAT defense, you'll let them take that outside shot all day. If Lane can see it from that far out, you got to feel pretty good about it.
Back down low is going to be Zach Gould. Gould comes in, and that one rolls off the top of the crossbar, off the goaltender, and didn't have the English to fall back into the net. The SWAT offense here, Casey, they've looked dangerous in their transition game so far.
Well, they have. That's one of their strengths is moving the ball up the floor quickly. They're an athletic, young athletic team. They want to push that ball.
Now the Mounties on the counterattack. Back down low near side. Ben Foster. Foster shot. That one's going to be blocked here. Loose ball, though. Can't be picked up by the SWAT. That one's being bounced around to the near side, and it is picked up by the Mounties. Driving in, but the shot clock violation is there. Going to say that there was no change of possession as that just continued to bounce around. So the SWAT take over again. Linklater, first one out. Right-handed players getting the offense ready to go. 15:46 remaining here, opening period. Linklater, he backs up. He's going to go all the way back up top there for Liam Dybel. Dybel now with a move. He's had a couple great chances early on in this one. Nice little spin move again as he comes off the pressure. Goes back to the far side. Linklater back down low. There's a low shot, and that one's turned aside. Colin Bergloff with the shot. I noticed something in warm-ups, Casey. I always can tell. Teams usually shoot where their goalie's weak in warm-ups. On the backup goaltenders around the legs, this guy seemed to be upstairs, so maybe the SWAT should take a note, try burying something upstairs on this guy.
Well, I'm a guy who believes in low to high. A guy like Zach Gould especially, who's got that underhand, who can raise that. That's kind of shot that work here today.
Moving things around again, the outside, the Mounties there again is another good save, Lane Harushka. He just looks so solid. I can't believe, if you watched the guy and told me, if I didn't know he was 16, I'd never believe you, Garen.
Yeah, well, his positioning is really good. He reads the ball well. And again, it's all positioning. He reacts very quickly.
Quinn Ingalls now. Going to start things. Looking for the pass, and it goes off a body and scores! The SWAT open up the scoring here. And Gordie Howe, Kinsmen Arena, especially the beer gardens, going a little crazy. That's huge, getting the opening goal in this one.
Well, it is, and the Mounties were the ones that scored first last night. And here's just a little pick and cut towards the net there. And here's the one thing the SWAT offense is able to do this year is complete these passes in tight. They weren't doing that last year. They're really, their finesse is a lot better, and their ability to set a pick and roll into tight spaces.
So that's going to be Ben Weeb, the Regina product, coming up with that one. I thought that went off a defender's back, but it was just such a good quick stick pass over to Weeb. Ingalls and Linklater with the assists on this one, and the SWAT an early 1-0 lead. Moving it down low. There's another good defensive play there is Keegan White, one of the alternate captains here in the SWAT, breaking up that pass. Saw that one coming from a mile away. And Saskatchewan back to work on offense here. There's another good shot, and it's a goal! Liam Dybel. He's had 3 or 4 glorious chances. Seems to catch the Mounties napping on that one. Goes betwixt the pantaloons.
Hey, there it is, John.
There it is.
You know, I think the goaltender's going to want to have that one back. That one looked like it just went right through him, but I like the decisiveness on Liam Dybel on that play. He gets a sense that the defenders have their backs turned, and he makes a beeline right to the net there, takes his shot, and buries that. That's something, again, we talked about the maturity of this team and the offensive guys. You look at Bergloff, Gould, and Dybes, even just all 3 of those guys on the left-hand side. All those guys are coming into their own now. They're starting to believe in themselves, and that's half the battle.
And it was like a parting of the sea there. I don't know what the Mounties thought Dybel was going to do, but he had all sorts of time and space, goes between the pantaloons, if you will. And it's a 2-0 SWAT lead here in the first period. It's a dream start for this team in this huge game. But it is going to be given back to the Mounties with a chance to get back into this one. Laszlo Henning. Henning goes over to the far side. Picking it up now is Ethan Olsen. Olsen finds his man down low. Mounties in those cream-colored jerseys with the blue and burgundy trim. Moving things down low. Alone in front, there's their best chance and a great save! Hrushka flashes a little leather and turns aside that. That was a grade A chance for the Mounties.
You're right, and if there's one guy you do not want to leave on the top of the crease with the ball on the Mounties, it's number 9, Jake Foster. He's been doing it for years. He's their most talented offensive player.
And there's a counterattack shot there by Zach Gould. That one turned aside by Brady Wilson, coming up with a big save of his own down at the other end. 13:05 remaining in this one. Over to the far side, Bodie Shields. Shields now. He's going to go down low. And the aforementioned Mr. Foster setting things up top. Moving around now. Ethan Olsen, the left-hander. He goes down low. SWAT again. That's White keeping them to the outside. Up top now, Foster. That's a good shot and a good save there by Hrushka. 16-year-old phenom coming up with it. Phenom of a fair word, Casey?
I'm not one to praise goalies very easily, John, but this kid has come in and just, it takes goaltenders a long time to mature, longer than an out player. And so the fact that he's able to come in and make such a difference as a 16-year-old, it reminds me of Christian Del Bianco a little bit. Maybe that's a little ambitious. He's still got a long way to go, but he's just been playing unreal this year.
But I mean, the Canada Lacrosse guys are seeing the same thing. He's among the top 40 players to make the World Junior team for the World Junior Championships to be held here in Saskatoon later this summer. Moving things around now are the Mounties. Miles Moffat with it. Moffat, he goes back. There's another good high shot. Laszlo Henning. He's had some big games against the SWAT team. Trying to muscle his way into the middle. Low shot. That one's going to bounce just wide. Not off of any SWAT player. And here comes the SWAT transition team. Nice play there. Cody Arsenault on recovery there to slow up the SWAT. As picking it up down low is going to be Quinn Ingles. Ingles going in and he shoots!
Crease ball.
Crease violation. But what a great play there by Quinn Ingles to even get that chance and go horizontal through the air.
Well, it kind of was. We saw how Deivel just saw that he had that lane to the net there. Well, Quinn saw that as well. Just got a toe in the crease there, but good idea.
2-0 SWAT lead midway through the first period. Back down low near side. Ben Foster. Foster backs up, shoots, goes down low and scores. Lane Hrushka's beaten on that one there. Foster seemed to get Hrushka almost moving to his left, comes back to the right and is able to convert on that chance.
Well, that's part of the battle when you're facing a goaltender as solid positionally like that. You have to get him moving. You can't just stop and pop. And he had him moving a little bit that time, and it changes the angle on the release. And nice shot from the outside.
Ben Foster with the goal. Miles Moffat with the assist, and it's 2-1. The SWAT lead here as it's much quieter now after that opening Mounties goal. Another good battle there on the faceoff dot. This one being won by Cody Arsenault. Arsenault's going to retreat to his own territory and let the offense get things set up. Lots of bodies moving down the floor here for the Mounties. Slowing things up. Good coverage here by the SWAT, not giving any easy pass options, but Laszlo Henning does connect. Back over the far side. Little fake coming in now. Jake Gillis. Gillis moves it around a little bit. Back down low near side near the SWAT bench. A little backhand pass there trying to find Jake Foster. Foster now driving towards. Foster. He's going to just underhand scoop it, then take another shot right as time expires. Doesn't hit anybody. And the shot clock violation means things are going to go for the SWAT.
Well, good defense there. The SWAT have played against the Mounties for long enough to know that Jake Foster is a big weapon. So they got to call for help there if a guy gets beat.
Now over to the offensive attack are the SWAT. Gould. Little bounce pass, far side. Coming in, there's a high shot. That one going up behind the net. I'm going to say he was pulled out of the crease there. Good shot there over on the far side by the SWAT again. The offense, Casey, it seems like they're hurrying up to get the shot, not really using the full 30. I know you as an offensive guy, is that making your eye twitch a little bit? Or?
Not really. I mean, if the opportunity's there, if you got a good opportunity with over 20 seconds left, that might be the best opportunity you get.
Another save there, Hrushka.
Of the whole 30. So if you have a good opportunity, I don't care what's on the clock.
And they've had some good opportunities, hoping to keep it up. The captain, Eskra, he's trying to go over to the far side for Jared Steyer. A couple defensive SWAT players out there playing a little offense.
Good loose ball. Great
loose ball there by the captain. Going to change off there. A little broken pass there. Quinn Ingles, he'll pick it up, run it over half. 9:39 left to go. The SWAT lead 2-1 here, first period. Ingles, low shot. That one, another good save by Brady Wilson. Now here come the Mounties in transition. Great speed here by this Mounties club. But again, the SWAT able to get back. Mitch Linklater forcing the Mounties to slow things down, but there's a wide opening coming in. There's a shot and another great save off the bounce shot there, Harushka, as Jake Foster had some time and space and was alone. Tries to bounce it upstairs, but couldn't quite do so because Harushka was there. A little bit of troubles picking up the loose ball here for the SWAT. Isaac Bott. Good play, but they're going to call too many men on the Mounties in that confusing, broken play. So,
yeah, and I think the Mounties bench was looking for an interference call on the far side, and it led to a loose ball over here, and then there was confusion. The one thing especially, and it wasn't their fault here, but when you're changing, you want to bring the ball away from the bench, because the closer it is to the bench, the easier it is for confusion, and that leads to too many men.
well, it's almost like you can see the minute that Bott popped that ball out of the stick, the bodies didn't quite know where to go, and there was a ton of confusion. So serving this one is going to be Ben Foster. So for the first time this afternoon, with a 1-goal lead, it's the SWAT power play. Setting things up around the outside. Up top is Linklater. Ingles back up top. Mitch Linklater holding, waiting for something to open up. Does find in the middle, and there's a great quick stick opportunity there. Liam Dybel, but coming up with a great save is Brady Wilson. And this one's bounced to his near side, and here comes some of the toughest minutes you'll see in a lacrosse game. The shot clock doesn't run for the team shorthanded, but the SWAT are going to take the ball over. 8:30 left to go, 1:30 left in the power play. So their second offensive set here of this first man advantage of the game. Linklater's up top. It's going to go back down to the near side. Linklater running things from that top position. Ingles now looking to shoot. Linklater winds, and he dishes that one. Coming down low is Gould with the low to high. He tries again, and that one, what a save there by Brady Wilson. Gould picked up his own rebound, got the second chance, but couldn't convert, and Brady Wilson keeps this a 1-goal game.
You're right, John. That was a nice save there on Gould. Off his own rebound, picks it up.
Short-handed chance, that one goes off the post. Ethan Olsen in transition. SWAT now, the ball over on the far side, trying to scoop it back up. Having a little bit of a hard time here today, Casey. That ball's taking some real strange bounces. Now over to the far side, Frenette. He's going to back things up. The old fake play there is fake it to Dybel, give it to Linklater, and here comes the SWAT power play. 27 seconds left in the man advantage. 7:27 left to go in the opening period. Back down to the near side. Real slow, deliberate chance there. Dybel, he'll take a shot. He'll just put that one off the goaltender back up. 14 seconds left to go before the man advantage expires. Across to the far side. The pass just couldn't quite connect there. Dybel, jump shot. That one off the goaltender, Brady Wilson. And the SWAT, one last chance here. 3 seconds left on the power play. Big shot there. That one's going to go off the post, down low. Linklater picks it up, tries to go over to the far side, connecting there with Drake. Picked up at the trade deadline, adding another ready offensive player were the SWAT out of Kelowna.
Yep, played for Burnaby so far this year.
So the Kelowna product played for Burnaby. Back down low to the near side. Miles Moffat now back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. A few good chances there by the SWAT on that power play, just couldn't quite convert. Stepping into this one, there's a good low shot, rebound, kicked out front there, Harushka. Loose ball, those picked up by the Mounties. They get the reset. Back up top, Mounties moving things around. That one bounces dangerously, picked up there by the SWAT, Jaden Fraser. He grabs that one. He's going to be harassed by Moffat, but the goaltender, Harushka, comes out to set the pick.
Well, I like that team defense from the SWAT. You know, they get a sense of the guy creeping in the middle of the floor. They just collapse and take that away, create a loose ball.
Loose ball now in front of the Mounties net, as that turnover was nearly caught by Cameron Chesser.
You know, the last 2 nights, so the last 4 periods I've watched here this weekend, the SWAT have really been able to cut the transition out of the Mounties. The Mounties are having a lot of problems pushing the ball up the floor. There's a lot of good forechecking going on by the SWAT.
And there's a scary looking hit from behind down in the corner. Springing back to his feet though is Quinn Ingles. He's okay, maybe a little shaken up. And the SWAT back to work. Ingles now looking for a little revenge after being knocked over. He's going to connect with Dybel. Dybel trying to go low short side, but just misses. That's going to bounce near half, where Ken Ingles is going to pick it back up. Near side now. For Brandon Griffith. He's going to go back up top. A low shot there. Colin Bergloff looking for that short side. Only 5 seconds left on the clock. Wouldn't be surprised to see Harushka is just going to give it the old dump down. Make the Mounties start from 200 feet away. We have our first water break here, which I think this is more for the officials than the goaltenders.
Yeah, it might be for the announcers too, John.
Oh boy, it is. You told me last night, you said, come pick me up, give me a ride here, but make sure you wear everything breathable, because it is a bit of a sauna in here at Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena. It gets warm, not a lot of ventilation, especially in the summer. An older rink.
You know, that is lacrosse in the summertime, John.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, we get spoiled at the Saskatoon Center doing rush games in the NLL, but this is the grassroots. This is what lacrosse is right here.
This is sitting in a sauna, feeling sweaty just announcing the game. I couldn't imagine, you know, being down there trying to play right now. I mean, that's got to wear on the guys. And Casey, your mullet is a special kind of slicked right now because of all this heat. So
Bit of a lather going here.
enough mullet talk, and back to the floor for lacrosse. Mounties now taking it. Again, trying to get that transition game. And the SWAT so far just staying with them step for step, not letting a lot of easy passes and keeping on running with them. Mounties now. Foster. He goes to the other Foster. Ben looking for Jake in the middle. That one's going to bounce around and some feet head towards the SWAT bench. It's going to be picked up there. Steyer, he gets pushed around a little bit. And it's the Mounties picking that one up. Ben Foster looking back across far side. Shot clock violation, though, as the Mounties definitely thought there should have been a reset.
No, that was the right call. Nobody had possession there. There should not have been a reset. That's the right call.
See, we've also got the perfect view for that. We're right over the two benches here. We can see all that shenanigans. There's a turnover, though. And in transition, here comes that aforementioned transition attack, and there's a good slide save there. Harushka, one of the 2 or 3 real nice saves he's made this afternoon to keep his team in the lead. Isaac Bott was in alone. Harushka slides over, stops it with his left shoulder. Reed Murphy, back up top for Linklater. Linklater moves it across to the lefties. Back across. There's a good save there as Reed Murphy went downstairs. That one's kicked out by Brady Wilson. SWAT pick up the rebound, though. Under 4 minutes left to go. Another hard shot. That one saved again by Brady Wilson. Back to the near side. SWAT lefties getting in on the front. Moving it around. There's a good hard low shot. The low to high by Zach Goulden coming up there. Brady Wilson. Low to high, another one of Casey's favorites, but so far Brady Wilson up to the task.
Well, I love it, and I was just going to say, John, you're right. He's been playing really well. I thought he had a pretty good game last night, but he's really putting on a show here tonight. Yeah, I mean, this is, if you're into goaltending, you're watching the right game.
This one could easily be, if you had a couple average goaltenders in there, this one could be 5-4. That one going off the crossbar. It's going to roll all the way down. Another great opportunity for the Mounties as those righties coming up with another big chance. And a too many men call. Again, more confusion, a little bit of sloppiness out of the Mountaineers, which normally you don't see, Casey.
Well, there is, especially, you know, the last couple of years, them and the Raiders, you know, but okay, so let's take 2 and 3 years ago. This team, what they did best is transition. They moved the ball, they had a lot of athleticism. This year, they're just not moving the ball up the floor. They don't have that kind of talent to get the ball up the floor properly as well as they used to.
You made a really good point, too, on our drive over here. You mentioned this is a bit of a transition year for seemingly the whole league, as some of the top clubs had a lot of guys graduate, I mean, across the entire league.
Well, yeah, the Mounties, the Raiders, and the SWAT, if you look at it, all graduated, probably over 10 guys. You know, there was a big core of guys that graduated this year, so there's a lot of, which just means there's a lot of guys with opportunities here to step up and really has a really great opportunity to make a Minto Cup tournament as the RMLL is hosting. So 2 out of the 3 teams here, the Raiders, the Mounties, and the SWAT, two of them are going to go.
And now it's a tie game. Ethan Olsen gets in alone and beats the Harushka wall. Nice little move. He got him to open up that right arm just for a second and finds a way betwixt that right arm and the post, and it's a tie game. You knew this one was not going to be easy. Just man gets alone in front, a little bit of miscommunication. And that is one nice goal, too. I mean, to tiptoe right along that crease, stays out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice finish, but he came right across the middle, cutting across, and it was a complete breakdown on the defensive side because there was not anybody even close to him there.
Well, and you should never be able to get into the middle that alone. I mean, the SWAT also benefited from that. So now it's a 2-2 game. Another face-off win for the Mounties. Cody Arsenault has been really, really good on the face-off dot.
And again, there's a little sloppiness on the transition by the Mounties.
Broken play, and here they come now with Laszlo Henning. He's going to get it down low. Foster, he's going to slow things up. We got a penalty coming up here to the SWAT as the goaltender makes his way back to the bench. Extra man is on now for the Mounties with the delayed penalty on the arm of one of the officials, Tanner Fetch. Loose ball picked up there. It's going to be Jordan Tabin. And there's definitely some words being said. We got a cross-check call against the SWAT.
Yeah, Jordan Tabin, good. It did sneak up there. I think that's the right call.
Not with intent, so he'll serve 2 minutes for the cross-check.
Could have called it a high stick.
One of those that you can call a lot of things. Either way, we both know it's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, 2 minutes is 2 minutes.
So the Mounties, this is their first power play of the game. Moving things around is going to be Laszlo Henning. He's the man up top. He'll touch it a lot. Moving it back down low, looking to get a man open in the middle. Bouncing around, Henning behind the back. There's Foster. That one turned aside. Good right shoulder save there by the goaltender, Harushka. And going for a run now is Keegan White. White now. He's going to pass this around. I like how the SWAT just don't get themselves backed into a corner. They actually try to move that ball around. As that one's going to go up into the Mounties bench. So the SWAT continue moving it rather than just, again, going to the boards, which is so common. And we are going to have a holding call there. You got to calm down there, Reed Murphy. Otherwise, you're going to send two. And we are going to send both, as Murphy was about to draw a penalty, throws a late shot, and he's going to go back to the box, and we'll see what the calls are. So we take a second look at it, as there was a wrestling match. That one is cut and dry of a hold there on Jacob Glenn, but it's Reed Murphy getting up and throwing a couple bombs. It's going to make sure that he goes to the box for roughing as well. So it's going to be SWAT ball. That's the kind of things, Casey, you hate to see as a coach.
Well, I think Reed will hear about that when he gets back to the bench. As you mentioned, he was going to draw a penalty there, even it up to 4-on-4, if he just lets it go. And so that's one you don't necessarily have to take, and he puts his team at a disadvantage.
So it's going to be a 4-on-3. 1 minute left to go here in the opening period. So the 4-on-3 will go on for another minute and 11 seconds. SWAT now, first one's with it. Quinn Ingles on his offside, stapled into the boards, right along that near side. Ball's gonna pop down low. Ingles still trying to get to it. And a good play there by Jaden Fraser getting down low, forcing that loose ball. Ingles takes the man instead of the ball, and he's going to get called for the loose ball foul. And Casey, I can watch your blood pressure rise from here on that one.
Well, again, the ball was coming right to him, but he went for the man instead of picking up the loose ball that's right in front of him.
And that one is cut and dry, and now going for a run again is going to be Keegan White. White in alone, short-handed. There's a good save there. Brady Wilson, White with a great play, and that one there, definite. Gets called for the moving pick there, and the intensity level of this one is really picking up,
yeah,
Casey.
I mean, that was a good play, good hustle to get all the way down there, but he took himself to a bad angle, shot the ball, when he could have pulled it out and killed more of the penalty.
Here comes Foster, low to high, and that one's going to be saved. Harushka to bring this period to an end. If you like lacrosse, you probably like that first period, Casey Garrett.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the importance of this game, and these are two teams that are, there's three good teams in the league. You got the Mounties, Raiders, and the SWAT, and they're competing. And we talked about how important first place is going into the playoffs. And it's going to be huge. And these two teams are learning to not like each other, and that's what I like about it.
Can't wait to see what the other 40 minutes have for us. We'll be right back. John Fraser, Casey Guerin, 2-2 SWAT Mounties on Shaw TV. And welcome back. In the first 2 goals aside, as we're just taking a quick look at them here, the Saskatchewan SWAT taking on the Junior A Mounties out of Calgary. Taking a couple looks there at the goals that made this one 2-2. Of course, the SWAT with a win have a chance at finishing first, which is monumental for a program in just their 3rd year in Junior A here in the province. You see lots of good offense from both sides of the SWAT jumping up to a 2-0 lead, but there was the first goal there. That was Ben Foster by the Mounties, getting them back on the board. And some great saves there too, Brady Wilson. If you like goaltenders, you definitely like this game. Wilson and Hrushka have an absolutely fantastic year so far this afternoon. There's the second goal there that made it 2-2. Ethan Olsen. So you got Foster and Olsen with the goals here this afternoon. And then right before the end of the period, a little brouhaha that led to a 4-on-3 advantage. And that's how we're going to start the second period. With 17 seconds left, it's going to be 4-on-3 for another 17 seconds. Getting things underway here. The SWAT in their home blacks. Mounties in the cream-colored jersey with the baby blue and burgundy trim. John Fraser and Casey Guerin here with you. Got 40 minutes left of lacrosse action here. Another face-off won there by the Mounties. Mounties now on that power play for another 9 seconds. It is the rare 4-on-3 power play. The SWAT will soon be back to, it'll be back to 4-on-4 lacrosse here, but the Mounties with one last chance here. Alone in front in that one, going off the stick of the goaltender, Hrushka. Another great save there by the young SWAT goaltender. 34 seconds left of 4-on-4 lacrosse. SWAT taking it down the floor, slowing things down. Again, they continue to bounce things around. Liam Dybel, he's got one of the SWAT goals here this afternoon. He's going to go back up top there. Gould back to Dybel. Dybel cutting back in. Linklater with a shot, and that one goes off the goaltender, Brady Wilson, with a big save. SWAT now, after the save there by Wilson, getting to work on defense here. Running it down the floor. Isaac Bott. Moving things around up top. Back over to the far side. Mounties offense picking it up, and we're back to 5-on-5. 18:55 here left to go in the second period. It's a SWAT turnover, breakaway, in alone. He shoots and he scores! Brandon Griffith picks it up. Near his own restraining line, he goes the distance, puts it behind Brady Wilson, and restores the goal. The SWAT have been the better team in transition there. As you can see, Griffith goes for a run, sneaks it under the arm of the goaltender, Brady Wilson.
Well, it's a good stick at the top of the floor, knocked that down, and when he did, he knew he was off to the races there. Turns it on, and what I like about that, and what hasn't been necessarily the best quality of the SWAT in past years, is the guy in transition coming in on a breakaway has a plan. He knows what he wants to do, and you can tell. A lot of times they come in and they just shoot. He had a plan there, fake short, go around him, and that's the best play.
No more do they just come in and blast at the logo, Casey. We saw that for many years. Ryan McLean now. He's going to spin that one. Losing the stick there was Jaden Fraser for the SWAT.
You know, there's some good pressure by the SWAT on the Mounties trying to bring the ball up in transition.
They're really taking away that transition attack, and here comes Dybel now. Dybel, he holds on. He goes backdoor. I believe that was for Linklater, back up top. Dybel comes in, tries to go over the top. That one off the shoulders of the goaltender, Wilson, up into the netting. That'll be a reset here for Saskatchewan. Liam Dybel's going to be the first one down low. Dybel, first touch, jogs it around. He's going to get tackled there by Chesser. Dybel holds on, though. Back.
Penalty coming.
Linklater. We got a penalty on the arm of Marcus Fisher. As going for the long run is Lane Hrushka. He's quick for a goaltender, Karen.
He is. Well, he's still got those young legs, Johnny.
Absolutely. Big shot there. That one off the stick of the newcomer, Kyle Drurick. And Drurick bounces that one high. But the SWAT going to take over here on their second power play of the game. First one, they went 0 for 1. Couple really good chances, though. So Linklater is going to be the first one to touch it here. They're up 3-2. 17:47 remains in the second period. Back up top, Linklater. Going to the far side. It's Gould. Down to Dybel. He's going to walk in and shoot. And then nail his man to get that ball back, and another good save there by Brady Wilson as Zach Gould was all over.
And I'll tell you, last night Dybel threw about 3 hits and just clobbered guys. He's been a wrecking ball here all weekend. We saw him with a big hit in the first period here tonight too.
Mounties now back to work on offense, shorthanded. Up top, that's the man that you want to get it to, Laszlo Henning. Good ball movement here as they've changed their strategy. They were in the first, and another good hit there by the SWAT. You could hear that one rattle. And Steyer's going to get it. His man in alone is Murphy, and a great save there. Brady Wilson comes up and robs Reed Murphy. As I was saying, you could tell the penalty kill strategy's changed a little bit here for the Mounties. They were happy just holding it, now moving it around a little bit.
Well, you know, this is the second power play for the SWAT, so they've had about 5 or 6 different sets here already, and not once have they run a play. They've just been throwing it around the outside.
And turning in short-handed, Isaac Bott. That's not what you want to see short-handed. It's a 3-3 game, and Casey, as you were saying, a little bit of disorganization, I would say, lead directly to that goal.
Well, it is, and they've been switching up. They had Reed Murphy on the top last night, and they didn't have him on the top in the first power play. They just put him back on there. I don't care who's on top. I don't think that's the best place for Reed. I think he's more of a shooter and crease guy. But I do think no matter who it is, you have to go out there with a plan and say, okay, if we're working around one time, don't get an opportunity, get into a play. There's 2 or 3 set plays they've got. Start running something. You can't just go out there and throw the ball around and expect somebody to be open.
3-3 the score after the shorthanded goal by Isaac Bott. Again, off the draw. The Mounties have been real good on the face-offs here this afternoon. Trying to force the loose ball down in the corner. Cody Arsenault, the face-off man, the draw man. He's finally hit, ball comes out. SWAT gonna go for a run. Picking things up, Steyer. He's gonna retreat back to the bench, let the power play come on. As you mentioned, Casey, see if they've got some sort of a plan worked out on this one. SWAT now moving around. Linklater, he's the man up top now. Going back to that original look. He's gonna get it to Gould, bounce shot, that one partially blocked. Reed Murphy picks it up off the backboards. Linklater, back across, Gould flow shot, that one just off the top. Murphy picks it up on the rebound, comes in, and another great save there. Brady Wilson, a little surprised that Murphy didn't just shoot that, Casey.
Well, I'm surprised that he did shoot it once he got that far out of the angle.
Backing things up now is Cameron Chesser. He's out of the box. So the SWAT power plays 0 for 2. Nearly 5 minutes gone here in the second period. It's a 3-3 game. No team is led by more than 2. And we got a penalty coming up here to the SWAT.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold.
Holding call coming up to Saskatchewan. So this will be the second power play of the afternoon for the Mounties. They're also 0 for 1 on their only power play chance. So holding this thick call, and you know, silence is often agreement on a penalty call, and there is absolute silence from the SWAT bench down to the left of us, Casey.
He made it a pretty easy call. and you know, if it's a hold, you're not going to get many slashing calls from Marcus Fisher, a high stick. He lets a lot of the stuff go, but you know, technical stuff like that, it's pretty obvious he impeded the play there on that hold.
So 0 for 1 on the afternoon comes the Mounties power play. Moving things around. Nice little behind the back pass there. That's Miles Moffitt. He's running things up top. Back down low, open for a second there, but Jake Gillis just missing, trying to go back near side, short side, the left-hand side, the side that the goaltender, Rushka, holds his stick in. Moving things back around. Up top, another good-looking shot. Another good save there, Harushka. Loose ball, though, picked up by the Mounties. Nobody there. He controlled that rebound. He put it where he wanted to, but nobody was home there for the SWAT. Lots of noise from the Mounties bench. 1:22 left to go in their power play. Again, set up top. Gillis. Gillis trying to go to Foster. His shot blocked. That loose ball goes up, and the SWAT going to go for a run. Just going to dump it down. Coming off the bench there, Ben Weeb. Weeb now on the penalty kill. He's going to go for a run. Getting the men mixed up. He's got somebody in his back pocket. Weeb, he looks to retreat. He's going to go back up top from Murphy. Murphy moving things around, killing off valuable seconds on the power play. 55 seconds left to go. Murphy, he's going to run in, looked like he was thinking about taking a shot, but he's back up by that Mounties defense. Coming in alone now. Here's Linklater. Linklater goes low, and what a save by the goaltender. Brady Wilson reaches back, comes up with a huge stop. That might be the nicest one of the game. He reached back. He looked like a young Dominic Hasek there, Casey.
Yeah, that's 2 or 3 for him now. The ball gets in behind him, but he's able to fall on it, keep it from crossing the goal line.
So the Mounties now, after the amazing save by their goaltender, can they turn that into momentum? Moving things around, low shot, good save, Harushka. He turns that one aside, and again, the SWAT coming out with it. Using their speed, far side, Eskra. He's the captain of this team. He's just gonna bounce it back to an open space there. Reed Murphy connects there. 10 seconds left to go, and we got a penalty now coming up to the Mounties. So they get it figured out now. Harushka, a little bit of hesitation there as the SWAT want to make sure they didn't take the too many men call. SWAT now getting things set up here. The delayed call on the arm of official Marcus Fisher. Linklater, he got it over to Ingles for the quick stick. Ball still bouncing around. SWAT trying to come up with it again, but touching it are going to be the Mounties, and we're going to see a high sticking call. Cole Pickle is going to come up with that one.
And I think the message to the power play here has got to be, come out with a plan, start running something. It's not working, just working around the outside.
As we take a second look here, this Brady Wilson save, he reaches behind him as the SWAT bench had started celebrating. That ball was on its way towards the goal line, reaches back. Check out this angle on it, Casey. You get a real good look at it here, heading towards the goal, and he just sticks out his stick and denies the SWAT. 12:48 left to go. Third power play of the afternoon for Saskatchewan. They're 0 for 2. Linklater's a man up top. He's going to go back and connect there with Ingles. Ingles freaking out a Mounties player or staff member who was back there, flinched after he let that one go and just missed.
Well, it's nice to see they're actually running something, though. Just a simple pick on the shooter.
3 seconds left to go. There's the shot to try to get the reset. That one just misses. They are going to say it went off the goaltender. So Marcus Fisher making the call. So the SWAT picking up another possession here. First 30 seconds are gone in their power play. It's a 3-3 game. Linklater goes back to the righties. Linklater again, man up top. There's a quick stick, far side Dibble. And not a lot of movement on this power play, Casey.
Yeah, well, we talked about it. At least on the last set, they had a bit of a pick at top. It's probably the simplest play you can run on the power play. Top guy throws it to one of the shooters, picks the other shooter, and the guy comes around for an open shot.
And it looks like the goaltender's a little shaken up.
Well, he's been getting to work today.
Yeah. Might be cramping, might be tired. Yeah, the shot's on goal. I don't think we have a official count or anything like that, but needless to say, the SWAT have, I think, had the majority of the shots so far in this one. So we're going to take a water break here, much needed, as we've alluded to earlier in this game. It's about 30 degrees here in the rink and extremely humid. As you said, this is just good grassroots lacrosse temperatures.
That's it.
So right now the shots are 27-13 for the SWAT. 17, pardon me. 27-17. No wonder Brady Wilson needed a little break after that one. It is hot under that goalie gear.
And the other thing to remember, too, this is a day game after a night game in which he played last night.
So SWAT offense, power play back to work. About a minute left to go in the power play. Looking for the shooter on that side, that being Murphy. Ingles picks it up, Linklater. Mitch Linklater waits for someone to develop. Gets it there, quick stick, Dibble, and a little bit of agua was all the goaltender needed. He comes up with another big slide save. Dibble now. Linklater's going to wind, shoot, and score! Mitch Linklater breaks the Brady Wilson wall through a screen.
Well, we talk. It's good on the SWAT there to start adjusting. You see them, they just ran a play the set before. It creates confusion. Then all of a sudden the ball gets back up to the top and the defense has got their heads turned. They're having to react, come back to the top. It's amazing what happens when you move your feet and start running something.
Yeah, rather than just standing on the feet, we could see it so clearly from up here. 11:44 left to go, second period. 4-3. Linklater's goal goes under the arm of Brady Wilson. Dibble and Gould with the other assist, so it's 4-3 again. The SWAT back on top. The Mounties, though, have responded after every SWAT goal. Here comes Arsenault. The draw man comes in. That one turned aside by Lane Harushka. You can hear that one staple into the boards there. Driving towards the goal. Another save, Harushka. But that one's called on the crease violation, as the Mounties player is stuck down low. As referee Tanner Fetch makes sure to get him cleared up. Nothing behind the play coming in. The newcomer with a big shot there. And that one bouncing around. That one's definitely going to be an off-the-ball push.
Hey, there's another staple of summertime lacrosse, John, the traditional floor wipe.
The sweaty player falls in crease, and you got to go get the old wipe down so nobody blows a tire.
And there's the age-old conversation here. What's better for summer lacrosse? You got the concrete here, You know, you got the cement, you got the wooden floors in Burnaby and New Westminster, and then turf. And there's arguments for both sides. It's a lot of fun to watch a game and play on a wooden surface. It's like listening to a basketball game at times. But, you know, that's one of the things with the wood and the cement is that it does break up the flow of the game the odd time. When you get into a hot rink late summer and it's, you know, second and third period, you do have to take a lot of breaks to wipe up.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if in the near future, as this game continues to grow in popularity here in Saskatchewan, if you do see an indoor turf facility here in the coming years.
Yeah, and you know, you look at BC, there's Langley is the only one in BC that has it, but if you look in the east, there's Peterborough, and there's Six Nations. Everywhere else has the cement, so it's not like there's turf everywhere. Obviously, there is in the NLL, but the summer, you know, traditionally it's played on the cement.
And it just makes it falling down. It's just the impact seemed that much harder on the cement. So after the white break there, still you can see some dampness in front of the goaltender. And here comes the Mounties back to work. Nice little behind the back pass. That one coming in. That shot bouncing into the corner up high. Plus on the concrete, you don't get those real good battles, Casey. Or pardon me, on the turf, unlike the concrete, you get some of those real good loose ball battles because it's just bouncing around. You don't know where it's going to go, and it leads to some real tough lacrosse.
Absolutely. The ball definitely reacts differently off the turf when it does the cement.
So here comes the SWAT. Back to work on offense. 4-3 their lead. Nobody's led by more than 2 this entire game. Back up top is going to be Gould. Gould back to Murphy. Murphy spin move. He's going to dish it back outside. SWAT pressuring Linklater. A good quick stick there over to the far side from Gould. Back to the near side. Murphy, and another slide save there by Brady Wilson. This kid has been phenomenal so far this afternoon. Both goalies have been, but especially Brady Wilson and his work in the Mounties net. Back up top now. Liam Dybel. He's going to come in. He's going to shoot. That one turned aside again, Wilson. And Bergloff is going to give chase. Coming out, there's a long pass. That one intended for Isaac Bott. Bott's got a shorthanded goal in this one using some of his speed. He can't connect the long pass. Back up top. SWAT offense coming in. Putting his head down. Quick little shot there. That being Kyle Drake.
Yeah, that wasn't a good decision. It's about 1-on-3, and he takes it to the net. Pull it out. Let your offense get on the floor.
Ball now loose, down low. Another great play there on this by the SWAT defense. Knocked that one out. Back down low, far side. Going back up top, Laszlo Henning. He's going to go back down to the near side. Ethan Olsen. Back up top. That pass through the middle. That one again broken up by the SWAT. Picked up there. Into the corner. Reset now coming there. More good work. Braylon Fournette is going to pick it up for the SWAT. Far side. Their offense is going to set things up. Zach Gould, alternate captain. Waits for things to set up. As you mentioned, Casey, don't go in 1-on-3. Wait for things to set up. He's going to get it back for Dybel. Dybel fakes the shot. Going to spin off some pressure. Dybel back for Reed Murphy. Murphy shoots and scores! What a perfectly placed shot by Murphy. Few goalies in the world are getting to that one. That little opening between the glove and the hip.
Well, you're right, and you know, as well as he's played this game, 2 of the goals he's actually got a piece of. That one there, Murphy just catches him on the side, and John, you can move your shoulders and you can move your feet. What you can't move are your hips.
Yep.
Oftentimes, a good place is right in the middle on the post.
Well, and a good shot too there by Murphy. You could tell almost had that slider-like look to it. Came out of his stick with some good spin, a little bit of movement, and he picks his spot. And it's 5-3 with 8:41 left to go. And what we've been billing, and rightfully so, as the biggest Junior A SWAT game in this franchise's history.
You know who I've been impressed with this game is Jaden Fraser.
Yeah.
He's a loose ball machine right now, and I've noticed that the more I watch him, the more I like him.
You just like his last name.
That's
It's the one I won't get wrong the whole game. Moving across to the far side.
It's a good thing I didn't call him Fraser.
Oh, I would have lost my mind. Back to the near side. Big shot there. That one's going to bounce high and wide. Not touch a body. So the Mounties now trailing by 2 again will take over. 8:11 left to go. Going for a run. Here they come. Isaac Bott transition again. You let him get ahead of steam, he's going to burn you. He did that again here for the Mounties.
And we talked about their struggles moving the ball up the floor. The one guy who is consistent for them is Isaac Bott, and he's been doing that for them for years. And you know, he's a big piece of this because other than him, there's not many guys that are bringing the ball up the floor with much effectiveness. And he comes in, and when you've got guys like that that can also pick the corner on the run and go top shelf like that, that's a good player.
So Isaac Bott, second of the afternoon, 8:06 left to go, second period. Actually, second of the second period. Brings his team back within one. Quick adjustment there, Cody Arsenault. He's been real good on the draws, so in is a new draw man, that being Quinn Ingles, and he can't pick that one up. However, it's stuck in the stick, so it's going to be SWAT ball.
I thought they were going to call him on that the last time he had it stuck in the stick there. You get one shot to pop that out.
And he didn't take it. So here come the SWAT. In tight there, Murphy. Thought Murphy maybe was going to convert again, but getting over slide save, Brady Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, one of his strengths there, Wilson, is his side-to-side movement.
Oh, it's better than a lot of guys in this league. I mean, you see room to shoot. Like from us looking up here down to our left, you see where the guys are aiming, you see the back of the net, but he slides over so quick. That lateral movement is just so impressive, Casey.
Yeah, and it's guys like Reed there, and Dybel especially loves that quick stick, and they score a lot of goals that way, but he's able to get over and cut that angle.
Now he's moving things around there. And a quick turnover, a weird play off the backboards. Ethan Olsen, the beneficiary, and it is once again tied 5-5, 7:15 left to go. A bit of a broken play, Casey. This one just takes a Mounties bounce right in front of the goal.
Well, you're right, and he's right place, right time there as he picks up the ball and knows that he doesn't have much time, picks it up and goes right over the shoulder of Lane Haruska.
And Haruska just getting down, making himself big.
I mean, that's just a bad spot in order to give up a loose ball right in front of your net there.
It was such a weird bounce, though. It almost looked like most balls either shoot out a different angle out of there, like what we've seen most of the afternoon down in that corner. That one right in front. There's another draw win there. Arsenault. He's been real good all afternoon. So again, this game is tied 5-5. Two of the top teams in the league going blow for blow here. The last home game of the regular season. What a save getting across there. Lane Haruska. As the SWAT right now back on their heels a little bit, Casey.
Well, again, there's a guy sitting on the crease wide open, and luckily Haruska came up and saved that time. But you know, it's just a breakdown. There's been a few times where guys are sitting all alone right on the doorstep.
Long pass there. That one going high and wide. Not the kind of mistake you can make at this level. And the Mounties are going to get a reset. 6:27 left to go.
That always happens after I give a compliment to somebody.
Of course it does, eh? It's the Casey curse. That happens at every level, seemingly. Good battle there in front, and picking that one up is going to be Wyatt Hawks. Hawks is going to go for a run, using his speed. He's got a couple of teammates joining him.
Oh, give it to him.
Fakes the shot, turns it back out. Liam Dybel now, the lefty, looking over to the far side there for Ben Weeb. Pass couldn't connect with Weeb, couldn't get the quick stick away. And here come the Mounties again.
You know, John, I'll tell you right now, there was about a maybe 8 to 10 minute period, well, maybe less than that, 5 to 7 minute period last night where the SWAT were totally...
Here comes a breakaway. Finish the thought later, but first it's a SWAT goal! Brandon Griffith picks it up in transition, shoots and scores. And the SWAT transition attack, Casey, has been unbelievable. And I think I know where your mind was going. You were going to talk about an 8 to 10 minute period where the SWAT took a step back last night.
They were super sloppy. They were giving the ball away. And we talked about it, especially in an environment like this. It's hot. You're on game 2. You can't have your defense on the floor all the time. You've got to take care of the ball and give your defense a rest. And they keep giving the ball out. And it's a vicious cycle because the more you do it, the more it keeps happening. But lucky for them, they got a good break there. And hopefully that kind of breaks the momentum that the Mounties had going there for a few minutes.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Brandon Griffin, maybe with a turning point in here to stem the tide. And again, nobody's had more than a 2-goal run this whole afternoon, Casey. This has been a great game here at Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena. Picking it up now. Lots of bodies flying around. It's going to be the SWAT. It's going to be Jared Steyer. Pardon me, Jordan Tabin. Jordan Tabin goes back over to the far side. Reed Murphy's going to pick it up. Murphy waiting for his mates to come on, set things up. Near side Linklater. He's going to go back up top. There's a couple shots. The low shot there hit some bodies in front, bounced out of harm's way, and it's Isaac Bott again. Bott, good save there, Harushka, as Bott was looking for the hat trick, and all three of them were going to look real similar. Now, again, in transition, the captain Eskra, he just goes over the goal. That one bounces back to the Mounties side of half. Now it's the Mounties, 2-on-1, non-stop. There's another great save, Harushka! Scrambly lacrosse, Casey, but great chances at both ends here.
I can't believe the energy level on both of these teams still at this point. Both teams are in great shape. But I think both of them will want to settle it down here and start getting some offensive sets.
Yeah, you can see the guys jogging. Now they're starting to jog it up the floor, not push it. So as you mentioned, Casey, a more traditional looking offensive set here after a little back and forth, showing off the fitness level of both teams. Little mistake there by Reed Murphy as he loses that one. Ends up in the corner, scooped up there, Jacob Glenn. And now Glenn, he's going to push it. Glenn, he has Murphy in his back pocket. Murphy trying to force the loose ball, trips him up just enough. Miles Moffett comes on. 4 minutes left to go. 6-5, the SWAT lead here in the second. Around the outside, there's another shot. Good low save there by Lane Harushka. Back into the corner, Tabin. Tabin doing battle with a pair of Mounties players. He's going to come up with it. And again, as you mentioned, Casey, these guys still run up the floor. A little less fast, but here comes Colin Bergloff. Bergloff shot. That one is going to bounce right out front. Great rebound control. And again, the sprints continue. It's like wind sprints in practice all afternoon here. Mounties slowing it down. That shot blocked. It's going to bounce up near center. And that's where it's going to be picked up again by the SWAT. Wyatt Hawks. Hawks spinning off some pressure there.
Okay, we talked about using the 30 earlier when you want to shoot. This would be a good time to use the 30. Your defense needs a rest here. Keep the Mounties defense on the floor. An offensive rebound would be huge right now.
Linklater's up top. Linklater's going to make a couple of moves. There's a shot, Ingles. Back to the near side, Linklater. That one's going to pop out, and it's a rebound goal! Ben Weeb! Casey, you called it. You are Lacrosse-Stradamus calling the goal. Offensive rebound would be huge. They get it. They use the full 30, and it turns into a goal here for the SWAT to restore their 2-goal lead.
Well, you know, we just talked about how much these two teams are running the ball and moving the ball up the floor. Well, what happened there, you use a full 30, and then your defense gets a rest, and you're keeping their defense on the floor. So you're just amplifying the problem for your opponent there. And as we said, rebound comes out, and I was thinking that, you know, rebound comes out, use another 30.
Yeah, absolutely.
It worked out even better if you're a SWAT fan because it comes right out on the doorstep for an easy put away.
Well, and there is, again, Brady Wilson with a great slide save, but there's the danger of the slide save. If you ever give up that rebound, there's nobody there left in that goal, and Ben Weeb had enough time to scoop that up after a real good quick stick play by Mitch Linklater. So another water break here for the goaltenders. Right.
Well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these guys are going toe-to-toe. 3:01 left to go. The SWAT back up by 2. The Mounties haven't led this entire game. The SWAT have not led by more than 2. It almost seems like, Casey, after every single time the SWAT go back up by 2, the Mounties respond.
Yeah, and so often we talk about this game being a game of runs. Well, sometimes it is back and forth like this. And, you know, and it was last night, too. The SWAT, you know, they had a 2- and 3-goal lead in the third, and then the Mounties came right back. I always expected this to be a close game.
Wyatt Hawks wins the draw, but the first one getting there is going to be Cody Arsenault picking up the loose ball. Arsenault now. He gets mugged from behind, and the SWAT with another chance. Brandon Griffith goes into the middle. Back to Griffith, and that pass just missing as Jaden Fraser sent it back over for Griffith, who was unmarked at the side of the goal. Griffith now. He's surviving a double team. Waiting for a little bit of assistance here from the SWAT players. And we got Griffith going down behind the net and instantly called on the arm of referee Tanner Fetch.
Well, where this started, again, it's a lot of problems that the Mounties have are moving the ball up the floor. And that time, again, pressure from the SWAT causes that initial turnover. And sure, then they did get him cornered in behind the net, but ended up taking a penalty on it. So indirectly, again, it comes down to that transition by the Mounties.
So waiting to see what the call is. 2 minutes for a cross check here as we get a second look at it. Second look at it right behind the goal. And 2 minutes for a cross check into the, looks like it's in the midsection. As behind the goal, it's going to be Ethan Olsen. Pardon me, 23, Ryan McLean. And being helped off the floor now with some assistance from one of his teammates and trainer Neil Demand. That's going to be Brandon Griffith. He took a hard hit on a cross check, and now the debate being here for the Swan, they're wanting more than 2 minutes after their guy was shaken up.
It was tough to see from our angle here exactly, where the infraction occurred, but yeah, we saw Tanner Fetch was right there, and so I think he had a better vantage point than we did.
Well, when we saw it on the replay there, while we showed it, you could see it was kind of to the midsection. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of those that wins you. Combine that with the heat we have in here, maybe some sort of cramp as we get a second look here of the team moving it around. Mitch Linklater now. So the SWAT back to the power play. They've got one power play goal. Trying to get one back here. That one off the shoulder of Reed Murphy. Picks it back up. One power play goal, 4 opportunities. SWAT coming in. There's a low shot. Again, turned aside. Rebound is going to pop back into the corner. And it's the reset for the SWAT power play. 2:05 left to go in the period. 90 seconds left in the power play. Linklater and Murphy playing a little catch here on our left. Linklater's going to take a shot. That's going to go off the defender, off the noodle of the defender, Cameron Chesser, and off to the side. Good loose ball force right there by the SWAT. That's exactly what you got to do on the power play.
Well, it is, and as much trouble as the Mounties have moving the ball up the floor, even strength, if the power play, when they lose the ball, can hop on like that, they're going to have success.
98 seconds left in the period, just over a minute left in the power play. SWAT hoping to open up their first 3-goal lead of the afternoon. Linklater, he's got it over the near side, and a little broken pass there intended for Liam Dybel. His pass back to the far side, that's broken up, and again, Casey, it looked like back to a little bit of sloppiness on the power play.
Well, it's stagnant. They go back when they stop running stuff, they just start throwing the ball through traffic, and there's nothing there. It seems pretty simple. If you run stuff and it's working, keep running.
Minute left to go here in the second period. 7-5, 30 seconds left in the power play. Mounties with it, trying to get the loose ball. Good job holding on there. That was a great play there, Jake Gillis, but it's going to be the SWAT coming up with it. SWAT lose it. Back to work come the Mounties. Back on the near side. 43 seconds left in the period. This should take almost the rest of the power play. Is hitting the ground there. Tabin hits the ground, and we've got a timeout after Tabin leaves a little bit of a mark right inside the line there. So the SWAT wisely taking a timeout here. 5 seconds left in the power play. It's going to be under 30 seconds left here once we resume. 34 seconds left. So the SWAT will have probably enough time here. This will take the ball down. They'll have enough time to run one power play opportunity and try to open up a 3-goal lead here, Casey.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking what the best play is here, because if you take a shot and there's a big rebound, goalie makes a save, you've got the guy coming out of the box right away, easy breakaway pass. You might see them just hang on to the ball and let it go 5-on-5 and run from there.
Is that what you would call?
Probably, yeah. Especially 2-goal lead. I mean, if you're down and it's late, yeah, maybe, it all depends on the game situation.
So here we go. Timeout about to come to an end. Mitch Linklater, he'll receive the ball from the officials right at half. Right in the SWAT logo. But coming out of the box here is going to be Ryan McLean in just 5 seconds. So Linklater, little pass there to the far side, and they do exactly as you predicted, Casey. They're going to let this go back to 5-on-5 because you said one missed shot and McLean's in all alone. So 23 seconds left to go. 18 left in the shot clock, so the SWAT are going to have to run a play here. That long pass picked up by Murphy. Looked like he was going to miss him for a second. Linklater, low shot. That one's bouncing around a bit. Brady Wilson. And we're going to have a timeout now for the Mounties. And you have to think the Mounties being down, Casey, you're going to see probably the goalie pull one play.
Absolutely. Even, I mean, no matter what the score is here, you pull the goalie, go 6-on-5. You got a lot of time, over 10 seconds left to come in, run a play, and hopefully they'll get the shot that they're looking for.
And there you see the last shot there by Linklater. Went off both pads of Brady Wilson. Another great day here at Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena.
We would be remiss if we didn't mention the best concession in sports.
Absolutely.
Once again.
We absolutely have to. The lazy lasagna, mac and cheese, both on point today. And I got a piece of Black Forest cake.
It was the size of your head.
It was, and I have a very large melon. Like it was unbelievable. If you're coming down here for a game, you know, if you like the sweet treats, if you like good food, that's here. If you like having a couple pops with your friends, that's also down here at the beer garden. So make sure you make it down, especially with playoffs right around the corner. So wait for
it is, and you know, we talk about how successful the Rush have been and everything. Yeah. Every Rush player played junior A lacrosse before the pro ranks. This is, you know, this is the grassroots. This is where the guys play first before they get to the MLL.
For those, this is essentially major junior hockey for
lacrosse. That's right.
That's the best way I can describe it. This is the best level you're going to get guys coming from. So 10 seconds left, 6 on 5 here. The Mounties trying to run one play. They get that play away, and Lane Harushka says no. Coming up with a big arm save, and he's going to try to just hold on in this one. Looked like he was going to mail it, but a smart play by the Mounties to just hold on to it.
Yeah, oftentimes for a 16-year-old, he's a lot more mature than you would expect, especially for a goalie. You know, they're a little bit loopy to begin with.
I can admit, I'm a goalie. So Harushka holds on to it, and his team will take a 2-goal lead into the third period. The SWAT, a chance to sit in first, depending on what happens next weekend, with a win here this afternoon. John Fraser, Casey Guerin. We'll be back with the final 20. It's next on Shaw TV. And welcome back, 7-5 after 2 periods here in the biggest game in junior A history here in Saskatoon. Back and forth, second period was much like the first. We take a look at the second period highlights. You see Mitch Linklater going to score there. A lot of back and forth. It seems like John Fraser, Casey Guerin with you, by the way. Casey, it just seems like neither team has been able to pull ahead as both teams have just been battling and battling and battling. What's somebody going to have to do here in the final 20 minutes to pull ahead?
Well, for me, you're going into the sixth period here in less than 2 days in a hot arena. For me, there's always going to be physical mistakes. You're going to throw the ball away every once in a while. For me, the mental tiredness will come into play here. You have to keep your head about you, make good decisions on the floor. Don't give them anything, especially being up 2 here. You're in control of the game, but you can't let off. Just don't give them anything. If I'm the SWAT, that's the message.
So the SWAT now will start things off 7-5. Again, we've broken down the playoff scenario a few times to get into the magnitude of this game. The SWAT win this afternoon. If the Mounties lose one of their last remaining 2 games.
If the Raiders.
Pardon me. Raiders lose one of their last remaining 2 games to the Mounties, who match up next weekend. The SWAT would finish first, direct to the final, and earn a berth in the Minto Cup being held in Calgary, which would, of course, be this program's first appearance in the Minto.
I believe they actually changed it this year so that one plays 4 in the playoffs.
Okay.
But it's such a huge advantage because really after the Mounties, the Raiders, and the SWAT, the 2 Edmonton teams are not strong, and so that's a huge advantage.
So, I mean, if you're an Edmonton fan, listen to this, you're probably going, all right, here's all this talk about finishing first, and maybe a chip on the shoulder. Maybe we should stop with the bulletin board material. Either way, it would be the first place finish for the Saskatchewan SWAT in a regular season. Moving ahead now, Jake Gillen.
I mean, they haven't been second either. I mean, they've been 3rd place, so finishing first would be a huge milestone.
There's a good save there, Lane Harushka. Harushka had to be given the electrolyte shot here, as you mentioned, the heat. Here come the SWAT on offense. Another transition attack foiled. Arliss McCloy coming in, taking a shot, and that one goes wide of the goal, tended by Brady Wilson. Here come the Mounties again, trying to get something going. Miles Moffat, he's got a couple of assists so far this afternoon. He's going to go back, turn it around. Ethan Olsen. Olsen's got a goal. He's going to try to work on the wide side there. One-on-one. Again, turning around. The SWAT, good job of keeping them to the outside, Casey. Nobody open, no pass there, no passing option. A desperation reset shot there for the Mounties. And that one's turned aside. Pardon me, misses wide. And the SWAT will take over. 18:26 left to go. Casey, I also can't think of the last time this club could potentially go 3-1 against the Mounties. I cannot remember the last time that even came close to happening.
Before this year, we beat the Mounties only one other time. And then this year was the first time they've actually, the SWAT have actually won against the Raiders at all.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they've always been a step behind, and this year they've really gone to that next level, in part, as we talked about, to the goaltending.
And you've seen several good saves on both sides. Lane Harushka's been unreal. How about some good work there? Keegan White. White with a chance comes in, fakes in that one, bounces and goes off the post. White had a plan, trying to go bounce shot upstairs, and he was robbed by the iron. 7-5, 2-goal lead, 17:36 left to go in the final period. SWAT with a chance to put themselves on the inside track, or potential inside track, for first place in the league. Moving things around now are the Mounties. Mounties, of course, they can stay in contention for that first place spot with a win as well. It's a big weekend for both teams. Harushka, that one is going to pop right out front. Good job there, as Laszlo Henning was sitting right on the doorstep to turn that one aside. SWAT now turning things around. Reed Murphy will lead the offense on the way in. Murphy, a little bit of shenanigans behind the play here, right by Marcus Fisher, one of our officials. So he's right by the box. The SWAT bench wanted a 2-Benny call, as the Mounties player had fallen down right in front of his own bench. Here comes Isaac Bont. He's got 2 transition goals already. You can see the SWAT now doing a better job of matching up with him, as Fraser's following him down the floor. Pass over the far side, Miles Moffat. Back near side, stepping into that one. That one's going low and wide and bouncing all the way into Mounties territory. That one, Brady Wilson couldn't quite get a handle on it. Took a little bit of a weird spin on him. And that'll run the shot clock all the way down below the 10-second mark. Wilson's long bomb will bounce around. The SWAT happy with letting that one run down, letting the shot clock expire so they can take back over, get something set up here. 16-14 left to go. Casey, it seems like the SWAT right now playing, they're still pushing, but they don't seem to be sacrificing good defense for offense right now. Well,
the main thing too this period, your lefties have to get off the floor and make sure that you're not giving them any transitions. Just so the lefties, when there's a shot, closest guy to the bench has really got to get there quickly.
Reed Murphy knocked off the ball far side there by Damian Dewberry. That one picked up, coming in, big shot, and there's another wrecking ball-esque hit there. Ben Weeb, and they're going to call him for a little unnecessary roughness off the ball. So taking over are the Mounties. I mean, shot clock was going anyway, so another huge hit there by the SWAT. They've been the more physical of the two teams this afternoon. And they're moving it around. Mounties, there's a good block. That one is going to go right off the ear hole of the SWAT defender. That one never feels too good, as Neil is going to have to go take a look at that SWAT player there on the bench. Back to the near side. Ben Forster. Foster, he's going to come in. He's going to fake it in the middle. To the other Foster, that one being Jake. Back up. 15 minutes left to go here in the third period. The SWAT lead by 2. The Mounties have not trailed by more than 2. They've always managed to get it back in close, and there's another shot and a goal! Just as I was saying it, they managed to turn that one as they managed to get one behind Lane Harushka. And just again, Casey, movement in front of the goal, and Harushka got most of that one, but it's just gonna do a couple of spins off his back and twirl into the back of the net. And once again, the SWAT lead down to 1 as he gets that one with his right shoulder, and it just, a little bit of English on it, puts it behind him.
If you've got one step on your defender in box lacrosse, that is wide open. And that time he got the step on Steyer, comes across the middle, gets the ball right where he wants it, and squeaks one by Harushka there. That was a nice goal. Again, the movement, that's what creates the chances. Off-ball side movement, cut through the middle, stick up, and that was just a good, solid play.
So the Mounties with another face-off win. Jaden Fraser now with a little bit of pressure there on Damian Dewberry. Mounties setting it up. They now only trail by 1. Good physical battle along the side. Along the far side, Isaac Bott goes to the lefties. Again, man in the middle. Good defense there by the SWAT. Picking things up, they're going to go for a run. Going for a run now. There's a good shot right off the bar. Mark Foster from Guelph, Ontario. Right in your neck of the woods there, Peterborough.
Take a drink.
Good. Yeah, everybody take a sip. So Foster, he rings that one loudly and resoundingly off the bar. There's a good low to high shot by Colin Bergloff, the Delisle product. He's going to miss, though. It'll go all the way down the floor as the shot clock winds down. Rushka is just going to dump it down low, and 13:50 remains. SWAT up by 1. Starting to look very similar to last night's game, isn't it, Casey? SWAT were up 2. Mounties battle back, and the SWAT come out with a W.
Yeah, the Mounties had a good surge late in the third period, made it a one-goal game. It looked for a while there that the Mounties were going to tie that one up.
Good collision there as Wyatt Hawks falls down to the floor. Mounties now, they're just trying to get after every single loose ball. Hawks getting involved with his man, but instead down the floor, and another good save, and we got a big hit and a penalty coming up. Penalty coming up after the great save there by Brady Wilson. The Mounties defender with a textbook cross-check. Illegal cross-check, I could say.
Yeah, they might have caught him a little high there, John.
Gets it up high as he falls down. There's a big shot, and the SWAT are going to go to the power play. Going to call it a charging call. Again, it's one of those that you know that something has been done wrong. Just don't quite know what. And there again, you take the look at the charge. Managed to keep his stick down. So the stick never did get up as we watched the replay there, Casey, but he just barreled into him at full speed.
And he did, and you know, it seems that the first and third period, the SWAT are able to push this transition, and it seems as though there's times where the Mounties have their heads turned, and they're not expecting the SWAT to have moved the ball up the floor quite as quickly as they have.
Well, and it's easy in the first. You're full of energy. You're ready to go. And in the third, you know you've only got 13 miles left.
Well, and the other thing is the Mounties offense hasn't looked a long change. That's part of it. You've got a tired offense who's not getting off the floor quick enough.
Jake Gardner will serve 2 or less in the sin bin, so it's the 5th power play of the afternoon for the SWAT. 13 minutes left to goal. A goal here would be absolutely huge for them. Moving things around. Again, a little stagnant here on the power play. Looking to cut something in the middle. Now they're starting to get a little bit of movement, create a little bit of confusion. Means Gould's going to have a lane. Gould with a low rolling shot, and a good save there by Brady Wilson on a tough call. And too many men on the Mountie, so the SWAT right back to work here. Back-to-back possessions. Goal here would be massive to restore the 2-goal lead. Trying the old hidden ball. Doesn't fool anybody as Reed Murphy over on the far side. Mitch Linklater's the man up top. Lots of movement. There's a shot. Good save there by Brady Wilson. For the rebound, goes back to the SWAT. Everybody's getting loud in here. Moving it around. Linklater had a man quick stick, and that's using your head as that one comes across Brady Wilson off the mask. Ball pops out for a minute to Quinn Ingles. Back up top. See it back, moving around. Almost silent here, Casey, with anticipation as the SWAT have had the ball this entire power play. 50 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Linklater through a screen. That one pops out, but Brady Wilson, as he has done about 3 or 4 times this afternoon, tracks it and covers it.
Again, I'm questioning the management of this power play right now because every time they run something, they end up getting opportunities. It's hard to watch 5 guys stand on a power play and work the ball around and then end up moving it into trouble towards the end of the 30.
So take a second look here at the last save by Brady Wilson that he causes him to just drop down. He runs over, or pardon me, hops over. It's always tough to tell if, kind of looking at maybe a hip, a groin, something like that, or the fact it's just 207 degrees outside. I mean, you got to think, most of the players, you know, you got your armor on, you got a breathable jersey on. The goaltenders, they're wearing tons of padding. They're definitely needing the water break. So as we take a second look at the angle here to see maybe where Wilson tweaks something. As he falls over and he just kind of...
Maybe rolled over a little bit over the ankle.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, definitely looks like something lower body. That would be not a good spot or at all as he's back up on his feet. That's a good sign for the Calgary Mounties as he has been unbelievable today. Shakes it off, gets a little bit of water. Once again, we're going to get a towel down on the spot. 7-6, the SWAT lead. Chance to give themselves first place, depending on what happens next weekend.
Yeah, I think the Mounties and the Raiders actually played during the week. The first game might even be Wednesday.
Right, that's the luxury of being in the same city, right? You can have a weeknight game. You don't have to wait till the weekends like we do here in Saskatchewan. 45 seconds left on the SWAT power play after Brady Wilson was a little shaken up. Appears to be fine now. 11:43 left to go in this one. Isaac Bott's going to go for a run. The SWAT very wisely push him off to the side. Bott now bouncing around near the SWAT bench. He's going to try to survive the double team. Nice little pass there. Finds his man over on the far side. Bouncing it back up top, Ethan Olsen. Olsen pressured there by Brandon Griffith. Griffith and Olsen, they're going to go for a battle, and it's going to be Olsen coming out with it. He comes up with a good shot, and that one's going to bounce just high. And the SWAT pick it up. 15 seconds left in the man advantage. And the SWAT now want to get something set up here. That little pass there for Reed Murphy. You can hear the bench telling them, take a look behind them. They're going to wait for things to go back to 5-on-5. Mitch Linklater gets it moving it around. Linklater thought about the quick stick for a minute, was Dybel. Dybel's going to come in. Good shoulder save there by Brady Wilson, who looks fine after being shaken up. Another loose ball force there. Quinn Ingles. All sorts of confusion. Great chance for the SWAT. Turned aside there. Brady Wilson. But another reset. That is back-to-back-to-back resets. Low shot to go! Restores the 2-goal lead going betwixt the pantaloons of the goaltender.
You know what, John? You should start broadcasting soccer, man. Yeah, I think you got that in you. That was a nice play. We talked about the offensive rebounds and keeping these tired defenses on the floor as long as possible. Well, that was their second or third reset on there, and you could sense it coming. The opportunities were there. Now that's a good set. That's a set where your offense comes in bench and goes, "Let's go, boys. Let's go do that again."
10:36 remains. SWAT up by 2 again, leading the Mounties.
And you know, the other thing is, they lost the ball and then they hopped on and created another turnover.
It was just good aggressive play. The Mounties got a little confused and back to the 2-goal lead. 10 minutes left to go. Jake Gartner. He's going to take it over to the far side. He's harassed there by Fraser. Gartner goes back across for Miles Moffat. Moffat looking for his man up top. 5 left on the shot clock. Long shot from outside. The SWAT will take that all day long as it's an easy save for Rushka.
That wasn't the best decision there.
He wanted to airmail it, but it gets caught up.
If he threw a perfect pass there, he still might not have converted. You know, you got to pull that out, settle that down, put your offense back on the floor. We just talked about keeping a tired defense on the floor. Don't give them anything.
And another good save there, Harushka. And just like the SWAT before then, this is now back-to-back-to-back sets here as Foster gets it. Goes back for Bott. Low shot! And a goal. Isaac Bott, hat trick. Casey, you said it. Back-to-back-to-back offensive sets. Usually in weather like this, going to lead to a goal.
Well, you asked me in the third period what's important. What I say, you can't give them anything. If you don't turn the ball over, you use your possessions wisely and don't throw a ball into trouble there and give it right back. You know, instead of a goal coming back the other way, you could have went down, had a good set, created more opportunities. So again, that one. If you're coaching the SWAT, that one's a frustrating one to give up there.
8-7. Again, the Mounties have not led the entire day, but they have not trailed by more than 2. Good battle off the face-off there. It's going to be the SWAT coming up with it. Good job there by Quinn Ingles. Ingles now retreats, let everybody get set up. As you mentioned there, Casey, just calm things down, run your sets. There's 9:13 left to go. Another goal or 2, of course, would be perfect, but you can't sacrifice.
You almost got the sense when the SWAT gave that ball over. that the Mounties were going to come back and put one in the net.
Yeah,
That's just the
absolutely.
way it goes in this game.
He's going for a run now. Joel Garvey. Garvey, who looks a striking amount like Drew Doughty, by the way. He's going to move it up to his offense. Mounties trail by 1. Jake Gartner in low. Moffat, there's another arm save there. Lane Arushka, the Warman product. Pass there intended for Eskra, the captain. Dishes back for Zach Gould. Gould to Linklater. Mike Linklater is going to jog it up. Reed Murphy picks it up. Murphy decides to pull it back out. Coming in again through a screen. Good save there by the goaltender, Brady Wilson. And this time the Mounties able to get him that loose ball with 8:20 left to go. Long pass though, and Casey almost deja vu. The SWAT created themselves a headache by a long pass gone astray. Now does that happen to the Mounties?
And again, we talked about it. Physical mistakes will be there, but it's the mental ones right now, right? That's what you got to stay away from.
Liam Dybel, he goes back up top. Ingles moving things around. Big shot there. That coming from Reed Murphy. Cole Pickle picking up the loose ball, and he's going to go for a run. No mistakes on this one, but he runs into that SWAT triple team that's taken away the transition attack. 3 bodies there, but the Mounties able to come back up with it. 7:42 left to go. Each possession becoming that much more important. Isaac Bott, he's been their best offensive player of the afternoon. Back up top now, Olsen. Gets it back, Henny. Bott's going to come in. Decides to dish it back up top, finding his man down low. Shot clock buzzes right as that shot got away, and the SWAT are going to take it. In alone, and another great save there. Brady Wilson as Wyatt Hawks gets turned aside. Now the SWAT have to get back on defense again after the pickup and the breakaway. Hawks down. He'll follow his man down. It's Cody Arsenault. Arsenault, he's going to go back up top for Ethan Olsen. Olsen for Miles Moffat. Back down low. Mounties looking to tie this one up again. Finds a man in the middle. That one, he was tied up. Goes back to the outside player. Shot clock about to expire. Harushka goes off his shoulder, but a good job by the SWAT to pick up that loose ball. Braylon Frenette, that's a huge play. Frenette now. He'll go to Zach Gould. 6:38 left to go. The SWAT up by 1. Reed Murphy. He's going to stop. Murphy turns it around. Murphy driving in. That ball pops out, and back to work goes to the Mounties offense. They're trailing by 1. Joel Garvey decides to retreat after some good pressure. Jake Gartner now. Gartner takes it far side. Getting things sent up. Gartner from Miles Moffat. Back down low. Laszlo Henning. Back up top. Gartner, that one's going to go off the face of the goaltender, Harushka. Now we got a foot race. Eskra on Gartner. On goal! And he's turned aside. Brady Wilson. Another big save there is the captain looking for the top corner. SWAT defense, they're tired after back-to-back breakaway chances. Good job there by Bergloff to just shove his man away from his stick, get back to work on defense. Ben Foster. Back down low near side. Moffat with a spin move. Back up top. Moving things around. That pass intended for Olsen. Bounces out of his reach. Only 5 seconds left to go. Long shot looking for the reset. Veteran play there by Harushka to stay away from it. 5:22 left. SWAT with a 1-goal lead. 5:14 left to go. Pass into the middle. That one forcing the back in. What a play there by Ben Wiebe. Pushes the defenseman with such oomph. Creates a back in play there, Casey.
Well, yeah, exactly. Keep the D on the floor. It sounds like a broken record, but that's so important in the way this game is progressed.
And we have a holding call coming to the Mounties.
Here's a test on this power play again. You know, they gotta get back to what's working on that power play.
So a late holding call made here by Tanner Fetch. We're all gonna, everybody take a water drink. Because down to the 5-minute mark. Casey, as you mentioned, SWAT power play goal here obviously would be huge. Only 5 minutes left to go, but they have to make sure not to give anything up shorthanded, as Isaac Bott has burned them at least once here in this game.
That's the guy you got to be scared of right now, isn't it, John? Because he does it at both ends of the floor. He pushes the ball up so much so that they're playing more on offensive than I think that he's used to on a normal game. But he's having a big day. Obviously, goaltender, he's having a big day. But again, I'm interested to see what the SWAT want to do here on the power play. It's going to be hard to watch if they just go stand around and throw it around the perimeter. So.
You might have a heart attack. You're in poor enough health. I don't want to see you keel over because of that.
Hey, you know what, man, though? It's 8-7 and 5 minutes left here in an awesome junior A lacrosse game. And, you know, what else can you ask for? It's a great game.
Absolutely. It's been fantastic the whole way through. Shots on goal now 55 for the SWAT, 39 for the Mounties. And we're having a quick discussion here, too, the officiating crew getting together. Going over a couple of notes. Again, one of the staples of summer lacrosse is the sweat on the floor delay. As we're just coming out of that now. Nice little timeout for both teams here in the final 5 minutes. So the SWAT back to work on the power play. One power play goal so far in the afternoon. 5:02 remains in this one, pending overtime, of course. It's in the third period. Mitch Linklater. He's going to take it right up at half. And here comes the SWAT to work on the power play. Looking to restore that 2-goal lead. Now moving some bodies around, much to the chagrin of Casey. Backdoor looking for Dybel. That one's a good pick. And look out, here comes the Mounties, but that's a quad team, and that ball pops out. SWAT with the reset as Joel Carvey had absolutely nowhere to go. 4 guys in black jerseys surround him. Mitch Linklater now. Goes to Gould. Linklater's a man up top. Settling things down. Dybel's on the near side of the shooter position. Reed Murphy. Back up top, Ingles. Linklater. He's going to go, and the play is going to be executed. Murphy. Big shot to goal! Reed Murphy! Big goal! SWAT up by 2. 4:18 left to go.
Well, and you know, Reed's been pretty quiet this game, but that power play had movement. You get the defense moving because you're running a play, you're getting bodies through the middle, and sure enough, that opens up a better shot than if you're just passing the ball around the perimeter. And Reed Murphy, normally known as an inside guy around the doorstep of the crease, he rips one from the shooter spot and gives the SWAT a 2-goal lead here with just over 4 to play. That's a big one.
That is huge. I mean, we're all expecting the Mounties to bounce, like they have all afternoon, probably bounce back with one more goal.
This is going to come right down to it, I'm sure.
We're going to take a water break here after the goal, I believe. I believe we have is that equipment check? So we have an illegal equipment call here. Shades of the Stanley Cup final all of a sudden. And the fun has begun between the two benches, as you knew the Mounties were holding on to that one till an opportune spot to use it, Casey.
No, I think it was on a player.
The Mounties didn't call for it. It is definitely, it's Wyatt Hawks is going to the bench. They were checking something on his collarbone. He was not wearing shoulder pads, Casey. No shoulder pads on Wyatt Hawks. We'll send him back to the dressing room to put some on and send the Mounties to a 2-minute power play. So right after giving up another big goal, the Mounties will have a chance to cut it back down to 1 after a rare illegal equipment call for the SWAT draw man, Wyatt Hawks. I believe it was the Mounties bench that called for that check, Casey.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It probably was, though, yeah.
5 seconds left. There's a goal, Miles Moffett. They had it in their back pocket the whole game, decided to use it right then and there. The SWAT bench is not happy, but that's just some crafty coaching, I'd say.
The only reason not to be happy is that the player knowingly goes out on the floor having illegal equipment. He puts his team at a disadvantage, and that's honestly, I think the word here is liability.
Yep.
The rules are the rules. They don't have to be big pads. They just has to be something on there. You know, it's in the rule book, so it is what it is.
Well, like you said, you don't have to be big. You don't have to be wearing a huge set of shoulder pads. You just have to have something there. And things were looking so good for the SWAT just a minute ago. A massive hit there, and
that's just a bad decision. He got away with the first one, and then he goes and cranks him from behind on the second one. That just, you know, again, mental errors we talked about. That's a big mental error.
Off the draw, back to the power play. The Mounties are going to go. As you mentioned, he got away with one. We could see it. It's right where we're standing. And one and then two on the draw man, Arsenault. There's a low shot, and they're going to blow this one down. And again, a very obvious call on that one. So far, Casey, in the past, this has really turned the tide to this one as we take a second look. As you mentioned, there's the first one you got away with. There's the second one that they called.
It's an obvious call. I mean, it's just there's no other way to get around it. It's just a bad decision at an inopportune time in the game.
Well, and like you said, we've got a couple bad decisions have absolutely turned this late game around. The team went from being up 2 to now giving up back-to-back power plays on 2 real boneheaded plays. One not wearing shoulder pads, one a blatant cross-check. Mounties back to work on the power play. Chance to tie this game up after their back-to-back power play. Scored on the last one, moving things around. Back near, up top now. Last second shot, that one going. Quick stick and a save, Hruska, but it turns into a goal! The Mounties have tied it up. Awful back-to-back power plays given up by the SWAT. And the Mounties, with back-to-back power play goals, make this one 9-9.
Well, again, you know, there's a couple times where you just get the sense because of the way things are progressing that the team is going to score. It's happened for the Mounties a couple times. We talked about not giving them anything, and that's all they've done. If you're the SWAT this period, is you've given them every opportunity to climb back in.
Absolutely hand-delivered 2 power plays. As Hawks is now back on the floor now after donning some shoulder pads. So if you haven't caught the rest of this, quick recap here for you. The SWAT go up 9-7 on a power play goal. Wyatt Hawks is then called for illegal equipment for not wearing shoulder pads. After that, another penalty to the SWAT for an illegal cross-check, and all of a sudden back-to-back power play goals. And the Calgary Mountaineers have now tied this up. The Mounties have not led, but they're going to have a chance to do so.
And you know, I think you're going to sense a little bit of frustration here on the SWAT. I believe that they've been the better team overall.
100%.
And it's funny. It's just exactly what we touched on is the mental errors and not giving them anything, and that's how this period's played out.
You proved to be Lacrosse Stradamus once again,
Casey
Garrett. Now both teams and the fans start to get into it. Gets loud here in Gordie Howe, Kinsmen Arena. 2:52 left to go, tie game. Both of these teams looking to keep their first place hopes alive. Taken down there is a SWAT player. SWAT with it. There's a good defensive play. Arsenault knocks the stick out of the player's hand, forces the loose ball as Isaac Bott picks it up. 2:32 remains. Mounties to the work on offense. Jake Gartner back to Isaac Bott. Stick goes flying as referee Marcus Fisher sends it back. Little behind the back play. Far side pass into the middle. Miles Moffat can't pick it up and going for a run. Here's the SWAT player. Keegan White. He backs up. Lets the offense come on. Liam Dybel. 2 minutes left to go in a tie game. Dybel fakes a couple of times. Dybel now makes a move. Back up top. Gould. Load high scores! The Loda High chance beats the goaltender Brady Wilson.
I saw that developing. I like the way those lefties play on that side together. Dybel and Gould there, you saw the pick coming, and what I like is he actually waited for it. And that little flip back to Gould with that underhand, and again Wilson gets a piece of that shot, but not all of it, and that, no need to tell you, that's a huge one. Just under 2 to play here. That's a big goal. That could make a season.
Well, especially, Casey, after you had just gift wrap the tie game back to the Mounties.
It would have been easy to see the wheels fall off right here.
And in previous years, I think with this SWAT team, maybe it does. Instead, it's back-to-back wins. Jaden Fraser, he'll pull it back out, calm things down. He'll politely wave to the Mounties players as he heads back to the bench.
Again, I complimented him earlier, but I don't like that stuff.
Not at all. Here come the SWAT, looking to grow the lead here at the dying 90 seconds. $1:30 remains. They've got the possession. Now you want to use the whole clock. Dybel under pressure. 2 left to go. Just throws that one down. There's the shot clock, and here come the Mounties. Another chance to tie. Keep an eye to our right for Brady Wilson. Wilson's going to sprint to the bench. They're going to go 6-on-5. 1 minute left to go. SWAT and Mounties. The winner of this one still has a chance at first place. High shot. That one's going to bounce wide. Loose ball's going to be picked up by the SWAT. Going for a run. White keeps it away. Tries to get it in the empty net. Instead, he shoots and scores! Jared Steyer! The fluffy whip on top of the delicious brownie cake on this one.
John, I'm going to point something out that I bet you nobody else in the rink noticed, including Marcus Fisher. The SWAT player, the non-ball carrier, he had his feet in the crease as the ball goes in.
You're absolutely right, Casey.
That really shouldn't be a goal.
And I think they might.
No replays.
You're right. We have a replay. You can't use it though, but you're absolutely right. Oh, big time. As we talk to SWAT media man Brad Kraft, who asks us in one word, Grease? And the answer is
yes.
Yes. You saw.
And you know what? If this is the NLL, even if the refs don't catch it, it's automatically replay.
As we take another look there, you can see Keegan White is taken down. He's in the crease, and it goes in. Casey Guerin, sharp eyes, my friend. So here we go. The Mounties are going to take a timeout.
You know, I'm not even sure the Mounties realized it. There was no argument.
There was no argument at all. No.
That's why I said I don't think anybody else noticed it.
No, I think you were literally. I didn't notice it. You didn't notice it. The crew didn't notice it. But you're right. Like if you're the Mounties and you notice that,
that's a huge argument.
Oh, 100%. You would be able to hear them losing their minds from up here, and it seemed to be very subdued. Right. This was more of a okay, go win the draw, get the ball back, which is exactly what they're trying to do here. Draw's coming. And the draw was won by the Mounties, I should say, and they're taking the timeout. So they're going to have 47 seconds left to go. They're down by 2. The SWAT a chance to go 3-1 against the team that they had only beat once in their junior A history before this season. 40.1 left on the clock. Mounties with the ball, down by 2. And how about the resiliency, though, Casey, of the SWAT team? Back-to-back, absolute bonehead.
It was absolutely gut check time.
Yeah.
And then the offense comes out and has a really good set, and Gouldy puts that home, and here we are.
Here come the Mounties, trying to tie it up. Lane Harushka, big save. Looking at airmail. Steyer's going to go back-to-back. He's going to bury again. Jared Steyer, back-to-back empty netters. Ladies and gentlemen, this SWAT program has a chance at first place.
Take notice, Canada. They're here.
Oh, absolutely.
They are here.
I gotta say, Casey, you and I have been around this program for years. This is the first time I've looked down and seen a legitimate contender on the floor.
Well, that's because I'm not coaching anymore, John.
Fair enough. That's why you're up in the booth.
That's why I'm in the booth, yeah.
You step down and all of a sudden they're an actual Minto Cup contender.
Yeah, you know, this is exciting, and you know, the other thing is it's good for the game if a team like this makes the Minto Cup.
Oh, huge. And it's good for the game here in Saskatchewan. I mean, it's...
And we should point out there's a long way to go, but they've clearly proven that they can hang with anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you'll have to keep an eye to the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League website for the rest of the week. As you mentioned, the Raiders and Mounties are going to play on Wednesday and Friday. A Mounties win over the Raiders. SWAT finish first. Why not? Jaden Fraser, another late goal.
Now there's some salt in the wound right there.
That one definitely is salty. You know this is going to be the quickest clock start in history. This ball's going to go down.
It's funny how things can turn out. You just wonder if that goal doesn't get allowed and it goes crease. That means the SWAT would have then been up by one. Mounties possession come down. Then you never know. That's a game changer.
And you are going to see as referee Marcus Fisher wisely sending any players who are mixing things up back to their benches. But as I mentioned, Casey, with this team up 13-9 and 1.3 seconds left, pretty sure you're going to hear Fisher drop it, blow the whistle, and a little bit of extra shots afterwards. The referees have to get involved, but that's it. Make the final. Saskatchewan SWAT 13. Calgary Mountaineers, they come up with 9. The SWAT win. Huge celebration here. The SWAT will have a chance at first place, depending what happens this week. Casey, your final thoughts here on a monumental, historic day for the SWAT program.
Well, they're winning when they had to. This was a huge weekend. You talk about what could happen if you win, you come in, you win twice. Well, first of all, it's one game at a time. They come in last night. They have a good game. Ruska played really well. It was pretty solid the whole way. Today, I think they were the better team. I think the difference in the game was the SWAT's ability to take the ball away from transition, and the Mounties weren't able to get a lot of offensive chances because they were giving the ball over quite a bit. I think that was the main difference. And on the other side, the SWAT were able to push the ball up the floor and gain transition chances. So Wilson played really well. But the SWAT had those couple bonehead plays, but then they rebounded from that right away, where it would have been easy to see the wheels fall off at that point. So that's that's mental toughness.
Now make sure you keep an eye for the SWAT schedule. Next time they play, it's playoff time, baby. For Casey Guerin, my name is John Fraser. Thanks for joining us live on Shaw TV.